Puss in Boots. This is a 2011 animated film from DreamWorks, and the plot is we meet Puss in Boots himself. This is his origin story, the prequel to Shrek, before he meets Shrek and Donkey in Shrek 2. We see Puss in Boots is now a fugitive or an outlaw in his hometown of San Ricardo, I believe it's called. And Puss wants to reclaim his honor again. He wants to prove that he is innocent after being betrayed in his past. But it's not until he got recruited by his childhood best friend, Humpty Alexander Dumpty, and of course his new ally, Kitty Softpaws, to go to get those magic beans that is sold by Jack and Jill, the two murderous outlaws. So they had to get those beans to go to this giant castle to claim the golden eggs from this golden goose. And of course, they want to receive their honor and also become heroes as they know. So what do I think of Puss in Boots is, I really like this film. I did. So me and my wife watched it last night, and I haven't seen it for quite some time now. And so it gives me a fresh idea how I feel about it. Because when it first came out, I did really loved it. I thought it was a really good film, a really great movie. I will say for the most part, I think it still holds up. I think it's still one of the better prequel films. But I will admit there are some couple of things in there they could have done better with the story in terms of its twist, which we'll get to in a moment. But that being said, I still think it's still a good time. And I think it's one of the most standalone prequel, even though it's Puss in Boots, you're expecting Shrek connections. But I think what they did here is very subtle. I think it done well for what it was trying to do, what it's accomplishing to do. Off the voice cast, Tony Banderas as Puss in Boots. Great, he's always great. Even in the Shrek movies, in the sequels, Shrek 2 and Shrek the Third and Shrek Forever After. He's always great. He's always likeable. He's always put his persona into this character. And kind of like the Mask of Zorro, even though he played Mask of Zorro in the movies, if you remember that film at all. But he's great. I can always say he's his character. You see the journey he's going through, especially his origin story where he talks to Kitty Softpaws about how him and Humpty, voiced by Zach Galifianakis, the guy who did The Hangover, I can't remember the second name is, but the guy who played the character from Hangover, you know what I'm talking about. But his childhood friend with Humpty Alexander Dumpty is very interesting. You see them bond and became friends, and by the time Puss becomes a hero, he gets the Boots of Honor, and Humpty gets jealous that Puss is getting more success. And even though deep down they still want to catch him stealing some beans, you know, Puss says, no, we're done stealing, we're better than this. But then, of course, Humpty betrayed him. He stole some money out that San Ricardo bank, and of course, Puss got the blame for it as well. So Puss has to make a run, and of course, now he's reunited with Humpty Dumpty Alexander Dumpty. But even though he doesn't want to trust him after what he did, even though Humpty is trying to win him back, saying, look, I'm sorry, can we just be friends again? Of course, they both did. They started working together. And let me say this now, Humpty Alexander Dumpty is very interesting as a character, even though there's quite a lot of hints that, okay, he's up to something. He's only doing this to get to Puss for some good reason. Even though I will say this now as a negative, even though I do like his character, he does, and the actor does his best to voice him, I found that it's pretty obvious. I don't mind the twist, I like the twist, but I just feel like he should have been less emceed. I know the story goes on, you kind of feel like, I bet they're going to use him again to get to Puss. But of course, it turns out, yes, he planned this the whole time. He was working for Jack and Jill. He just wants to get Puss arrested just so he can get the claim, and he wants to destroy San Ricardo to get the golden goose. And because the mother goose comes down to destroy it, which is unpredictable, even though I just wish they kind of show not him being the baddie, even though deep down he does change at the end, that he's still a good egg, or a good egg at heart, which I'll say the negative. The negative, I wish they didn't reveal the twist a little too easy, because there's a lot of hints. Looking at Kitty Softpaws, giving that look, and I thought, he's a bad guy. It's obvious from the twist. And of course, and there's a positive, at least he's a good guy right at the end. So that's something. Good and the bad put together. Win-win situation. And also, let's talk about this other character, Kitty Softpaws by Salma Hayek, who, Salma Hayek, we all know, we all love her and like her, do we not? Kitty Softpaws, she's interesting. When we first see her, she's just doing her job. She just works on to get those magic beans. But when she meets Puss, they both start to have this bond or somewhat of a romantic relationship going on, even though Puss says, oh, you're dangerous. And of course, you see her stealing him his money, his boots, and of course, his hat, which throughout the time movie she always does. But it's just so good. It's just well done. It's just how she does it. And Salma Hayek, well, we all love her, right? We all love Salma Hayek. She's great at everything. Even some of the movies that aren't the best, or if it's Adam Sandler. Drone ups. Anywho, that's been said. But she's great. Let's just all say that. She's great in the film. We do get enough funny moments, some enjoyable moments, especially when Puss and Kitty have this dance fight where they're just dancing and starts doing these dance fights. And of course, Puss hits Kitty with the guitar right at her face. And so it's a woman. And this cat is the ongoing joke with the ooh. It's hilarious, the front run guy jokes. And does it again a second time. Even the end, when the cat goes, oh, which is so funny. The animation for itself is really good. It's very crispy. It looks very clean. It looks really well done. And it's, like I said, it stands on its own. I wish there were some connections to Shrek, maybe throw some Easter egg there, or maybe him joining to be like a bounty hunter, even though it doesn't show you that. I wish they could have had Puss being hired as a bounty hunter, but like I say, it's a negative positive. But I'm excited to see where this character goes in the sequel for Puss in Boots: Last Wish. And of course, almost forgot, Jack and Jill, voiced by Billy Bob Thornton and Amy Zandras. I think I pronounced their name wrong. Comment down below if I say that wrong, politely, please. They're fine. There's not much to them. They're just generic villains. They're just there. Even though we got Humpty as a villain, you can understand where he's coming from. He wants to get that same success as Puss does. You know, he got jealous due to their friendship. But I do like the brother bond between Humpty and Puss. So there's some good things about it. And the fight sequences are pretty good. And I'll say for the most part, it's passable. The story itself, it's pretty straightforward. It's nothing too deep. It's not trying to be deep. But I do appreciate for its fun tone and its Indiana Jones vibe or action-adventure story going on, which I do appreciate. I admired it, and I do wish it could have been so much better than what our Shrek films could have been. But that being said, I think Puss in Boots is a fine movie. It's enjoyable. It's entertaining. You can sit and watch it. It's easy to watch. It's easy to sit through, and it's passable. It's a passable entertainment film. And overall, that's my general thoughts on Puss in Boots. My rating for Puss in Boots is a good time. It's a good time, enjoyable, fun time to watch it. And of course, if you're disappointed with Shrek the Third, or you found Shrek Forever to be okay but just underwhelming, you might like this a little bit more than those two films. It may not be as good as the first two Shreks, but it's still enjoyable, standalone film, and it works on its story itself. It does the story's favour, and the characters, and the animation, and everything about it. You'll have fun with it. Overall, guys, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned. I will do a review on Megan tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. I've seen it today, and I'm looking forward to giving you my thoughts on that film. And of course, guys, until next time, see ya!